All right, y'all. In your Chapter 3 table of contents, Lesson 13 is Point Slope Formula Practice. Today's date is 2/23. And then once you have that in your Chapter 3 table of contents, put your name, today's date, and class period at the top of this paper as well that your substitute should have given you. So this is the paper that has these boxes down the sides and says Practice Point Slope Formula. Okay, so what we're going to do is practice some of what we did yesterday, starting with writing the equation of linear functions in slope-intercept form with the slope and y-intercept given to you. So that's the easiest it could be, okay? So, slope-intercept form looks like y equals mx plus b, so as long as we have the slope and the y-intercept, we can put the slope here and the y-intercept there and be done. So, looking at number 1. For a slope of 3, we're going to be looking for y equals 3x. And if the y-intercept needs to be negative 3, then minus 3. So 3x minus 3, that is option J down here. So I'm going to cross out J because we're not going to need it again. And then let's look at number 2. The slope needs to be 4. So I'm going to start with y equals 4x. For the y-intercept of 5, that's a positive 5, so 4x plus 5. And 4x plus 5 is option E. So we'll cross out option E. Okay, if you would please pause the video for just a few minutes to work out number 3 through 8. Okay, for number 3, the slope of 1/2 and y-intercept of 3 should give us the equation y equals 1/2 x plus 3, which is option B. For number 4, the slope of negative 3 should be y equals negative 3x, with a y-intercept of positive 4, negative 3x plus 4, which is option H. So I've used B and H. For number 5, the slope of 5 would be y equals 5x, and y-intercept negative 4, 5x minus 4, which is option A. Number 6, y equals negative 4x minus 5, which is option F. Number 7, y equals negative 3x plus 3, which is option C. And number 8, y equals 1/2 x minus 3, which is option I. So we don't have anything for option D or option G. Okay, so we also talked about how to write the equation of a linear function in slope-intercept form given the slope and a coordinate. The problem is that we can't just put those numbers into slope-intercept form like we could with these first 8 examples. Okay, slope-intercept form needs the slope and the y-intercept. But if we are given a slope and a point, we instead can use point-slope form, which is the new form that we talked about yesterday that uses the opposites of the x-y coordinates and the slope in this format. Okay? So let's try this with number 9. For the slope to be 1/2 and the point to go through 4, 3, I'm going to start out with y and then the opposite of the y coordinate. So y, and since this y coordinate is 3, I'm going to say y minus 3 equals. Next up is the slope. Not the opposite of the slope, just the slope exactly as you see it. So 1/2. Then in parentheses, we've got x and then the opposite of the x coordinate. So since the x-coordinate says this line needs to travel through +4, I'm going to write x minus 4. And that's it. And now that we're down in 9 through 16, we're going to be using these options. So we may have the same letter answer again as we did up top, but it's because we're pulling from this section. Okay? So y minus 3 equals 1/2 times x minus 4 is option I. Number 10, we should be looking for y plus 5 equals 3 times x minus 3. So remember, you switch the sign of the y-coordinate and put it up front with the y. And you switch the sign of the x-coordinate and put it in the back in parentheses with the x. The slope is the only one that you don't have to switch the sign on. So, number 10, y plus 5 equals 3 times x minus 3 is option B. Okay, so number 11, shocker, I made a typo on this. There is actually no answer for number 11 unless you fix the typo I made. So I meant for number 11 to have a slope of -2. And with that -2 slope, we would be looking for y minus 2 equals the slope -2 times x minus 3. And y minus 2 equals -2 times x minus 3 is option H. So, my bad on that. Just make sure you fix that typo, okay? Alright, if you would please, try number 12 through 16. Pause the video for a few minutes. Okay, for number 12, we're going to start out with y plus 3 equals the slope -3 times x minus 5. So y plus 3 equals -3 times x minus 5 is option G. Number 13, y plus 4 equals 1/2 times x minus 3. So y plus 4 equals 1/2 times x minus 3 is A. Number 14, y plus 2 equals 5 times x plus 3. So y plus 2 equals 5 times x plus 3 is option F. Number 15, y minus 2 equals -2 times x minus 5. And that is going to be option J. And number 16, y plus 2 equals -5 times x plus 4. And that is option C. So we didn't have any answers for D or E. Okay, on the back, for 17 through 24, we're going to use point slope form again, but we want to go from point slope form to slope intercept form. Okay? Now, we can't just look at number 17 and say, hey, the slope intercept form is y equals 3x plus whatever, because this is not our starting point. Okay? But this is enough information to set up point slope form and then rewrite that into slope intercept form. So I'm going to set up point slope form just like I normally do. So that is y minus 5 equals 3 times x minus 4. Okay, but that's not an option here because we need to actually distribute the 3 and solve for y. So I'm going to draw a little line down the center here, and I'm going to start by distributing 3. So 3 times x and 3 times negative 4. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. So now I have y minus 5 equals 3x minus 12. Now if only that minus 5 weren't there, we would have it in slope-intercept form. But it's not. To get rid of that 5, though, very easy. All we have to do is add 5 to both sides. That gives me y equals 3x, and then negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7. And that is the slope-intercept form that also has a slope of 3 and goes to the point 45. And I see that option right here is option B. Number 18. With a slope of 5 and a point 43, I'm going to start with y minus 3 equals 5 times x minus 4. And then we are going to distribute the 5. And that will give us 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. So I've got y minus 3 equals 5x minus 20. To get rid of that minus 3, add 3 to both sides. That'll give us y equals 5x minus 17. And 5x minus 17 is option D. Okay, if you would please, take just a few minutes to try only 19 and 20. You don't need to do the rest of them, just 19 and 20, and then we'll check back in a minute, okay? Okay, so 19. I hope you set up y minus 3 equals 2 times x plus 5. And then the first step would have been to distribute 2 times x and 2 times 5. That'll give you 2x plus 10. So we've got y minus 3 equals 2x plus 10. Then add 3 to both sides. We end up with y equals 2x plus 13. And y equals 2x plus 13 is option A. For number 20, I hope you set up y plus 4 equals negative 3 times x minus 5. When you distribute negative 3, make sure you distribute the negative with that 3. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15. So we have y plus 4 equals negative 3x plus 15. Subtract 4 from both sides. And just like that, we have y equals negative 3x plus 11, which I see down towards the bottom, it's option I. Option I down here, negative 3x plus 11. Okay. For number 21, I wanted you to stop and not hit that one just yet because we've got that slope that's a fraction. We can still set this up the same way as y plus 10 equals 1/2 times x minus 8. Now remember, if we're going to slope-intercept form from all of this, there is nothing about it that says we can't have fractions. The no fractions rule is for standard form. right? But we're not going to standard form today. We're just going to slope-intercept form. So for standard form, all I need to do is distribute and get y by itself. So distribute 1/2. Don't overthink this too much. 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. And 1/2 times -8. Well, half of 8 is 4, so half of -8 is -4. Remember, you can also type this into your calculator. If you hit alpha, y equals. So whenever I hit alpha, y equals, this little menu pops up. I'm going to select the first option. And then just type in 1/2 times -8, which gives me -4. So now I have y plus 10 equals 1/2 times x minus 1/2 x minus 4. There we go. And then subtract 10 from both sides. We get y equals 1/2 x minus 14, which is option C. So if you would please pause the video for a few more minutes and try 22, 23, and 24. All right, for number 22, we're looking for y plus 2 equals 1/2 times x plus 6. Distribute the 1/2 to get y plus 2 equals 1/2 x plus 3. Half of 6 is 3. Then subtract 2 from both sides. We get y equals 1/2 x plus 1, which looks like option F. For number 23, y minus 2 equals -2 times x minus 1. When I distribute -2, we end up with -2x plus 2. So y minus 2 equals -2x plus 2. Careful on this. Add 2 to both sides. On the right side, you end up with -2x plus 4. And that is option G. And then for number 24, y minus 2 equals 1/2 times x minus 8. Distribute the 1/2. 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. Half of -8 is -4. So we've got y minus 2 equals 1/2 x minus 4. And then add 2 to both sides. That gives us y equals 1/2 x minus 2, which is option H. Okay, so what I need you to do is, once you're all caught up on this paper, I want you to go ahead and put that paper in your binder at the end of chapter 3. So I'm going to grade it as part of your notebook check whenever I grade notebooks tomorrow. Okay? So, I've got a couple of things that I need to tell you for next, okay? Next up, I'm going to ask that your substitute pass out this other paper. So this paper is not your next assignment, but it is your next homework, okay? So you know your homework was due today at 3 o'clock. So please, if you haven't already, make sure that that paper is in the very back of your binder in the homework section, okay? Well, this is your new homework assignment, and it's going to be due next Friday. The Ed puzzle is actually going to go ahead and post here in a minute. But before you do anything with that, I just want you to take this paper and keep it safe. I'm also going to post something to your Google Classroom here in a second. The link is going to be to this week's quiz. Now, listen. The quiz is, just like all your other quizzes, completely open note, but I've set this quiz to allow unlimited retakes. Usually I just give you 2 chances at it. This one, you can take it 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, however many times until the end of the class period, okay? The link will close at the end of your class period, okay? So don't be thinking, oh, I'm just going to go home and photomath all this, because no, it's going to close at the end of your class period. So once you take that quiz and you are happy with your grade, if you have not done this week's homework, I want you to finish this week's homework. So it's not this paper, but it is the paper on the midpoint formula. It's got this line segment on the front, and it's got this grid with houses A, B, and C on the back, okay? So, again, once you take your quiz and you're happy with your grade, make sure you finish this week's homework, the midpoint formula, okay? If you have already finished this week's homework, I went ahead and posted the next homework, graphing in standard form, okay? So that means that you could go ahead and get a nice little head start on next week's homework, okay? Now, let's say that you are just kicking butt and taking names and you still have extra time. If you still have extra time, don't forget that there is an extra credit assignment posted to Google Classroom. It is that Black History Month assignment for STEM innovators that's posted to your Google Classroom. You're just going to do research on 5 Black innovators in any science, technology, engineering, or mathematics field, okay? And if you finish all of that, I'm going to be impressed, to be quite honest. Here's the deal. On your quiz, unlimited retakes, open notes, no phones, and do not be on any other website, okay? Once you finish the quiz, work on your homeworks and or your extra credit, okay? All right, y'all have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.